So for this video, what we're going to do is we're going to focus in on that footer area, and we're going to customize the way it looks by adding some social media links and essentially like an area in the footer so people can contact us with the email and the social media links. And then in the CSS, we're going to make those links look different than just the default kind of blue and underline and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to customize how the links look as well. Okay, so this is all in brackets. We don't need to like download anything. We're just going to write some stuff here. Okay, so we need to start with the HTML. So all the way at the bottom, right now inside of our footer, really all we have is a paragraph with a link. Okay, now we want to kind of keep some of that, but we're going to alter this. So this is where above the paragraph, what we're going to do is we're going to add an unordered list. Okay, now you've done this previously, so this isn't new, but what we're going to do is we're going to add some links. Okay, so we're going to add our list items, and we're going to add a link href equals quotes, and right now we're just going to put in a hashtag because we're going to come back and edit that. It's a good placeholder. Okay, and the first thing we're going to have is we're going to say the first one's going to be email. I'm going to spread this out just so you can see the lines a little easier. Okay, so we have an open and closed unordered list with a list item, and inside that list item we have a link just to the hashtag right now, and that link is going to say email. Okay, so if we look at this, we're going to see some different stuff in the footer. Okay, so we have just a bulleted list with a link. That's totally cool, but this is what the default links look like, so we're going to alter that a little bit. So we're going to copy and paste that a couple more times just to have essentially some other links down there. So I'm going to put Twitter, and I'm going to put LinkedIn. Now you can pick whatever you want there. I'd recommend LinkedIn. I think it's a good thing you should start thinking about. But whatever social media you want to include, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is. Okay. Now, with that said, we don't need a link down here to our email anymore, right? But you remember we did that mail to tag, and we need to move the mail to our email and put it in the link that says email. Okay, I'm going to spread this out just a little bit more so you can actually see stuff and hide the CSS for a sec. Okay, so same thing with Twitter and LinkedIn. Now, this is where we need to write absolute paths. Okay, so http://www.twitter.com. All right, now this is where it's probably easier just to go to Twitter and find your home page, copy all of this, and just paste it into brackets here instead of typing it out. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and then you want to do the same thing with LinkedIn. So I'll go to LinkedIn. Copy and paste that into brackets. Okay, so make sure they go inside the quotation marks, and this is what's called an absolute path. It starts with HTTPS with ://, and if we compare that to our image, this is a relative path, so it's relative to the files we have, and our absolute path actually leaves our web page and goes to another web page, right? So not ours. So we want to make sure we have our links in there. We're going to take out the link down here, so that way we just have a paragraph that says copyright 2018 in your name. And now we have the footer kind of set up what we need to do before we actually change the look of this, right? So I'm going to save this and just jump back into Chrome so we can kind of see what we have here. Okay, so we have a bulleted list, and we have links that have the default colors for the links. There's no hover effect, it's just blue with underline. Okay, so we're going to go into our CSS, and we want to select links and have them look a different way. Okay, so I'm actually going to add this right underneath our paragraph unordered list and ordered list. I'm going to add the selection for the links, right? So we want to select the A tag. So I'm going to type A, and I'm going to put something else after it, and it's called a pseudo class, right? So it's A:link, and we're going to open and close the brackets. And what we're going to do is essentially just change the color. Now, this is where you pick whatever you want, okay? I'm going to pick like a kind of obnoxious color here just so we can see it actually show up. So let's try this dark cyan, okay? And then the other thing we're going to do, and you can kind of pick how you want this to look, but we're going to say the text decoration is none. So that's going to take off the underline, okay? So if we check this out, if we save this, make sure we save the CSS and save the HTML, and if we check this out in Chrome, we should see the underline go away and then the links change color, okay? And that's cool. Once we have that, we can pick whatever color we want. And then this is where inside of the instructional materials for this project, it talks about like UI elements and picking colors and thinking about like what makes something clickable. So really right at this point, this is the first actually interactive bit that we're doing and making decisions off of, right? We have a link to our homepage at the top, but we hadn't, up until now, we haven't really changed the look of it and thought through like how we want to make it clear something's clickable. So really think through like a contrasting color, something that kind of separates it from normal content and may indicate it as something that's clickable, right? So I'm going to pick a color. Like I said, you can pick whatever color you want. The one I'm using is hexadecimal of 397 EEB, and it's just kind of a blue color. So it's a different shade of blue, so we can kind of see that it looks like this, okay? So what I'm going to do is actually just copy and paste this whole section here that we just typed out. And I'm going to change the link to a hover, right? And I'm going to change the color, and you can kind of pick what you want here again, but I'm going to change it to a darker color so it looks like something happens when somebody hovers over it. So the one I'm using is 2759AA, and then I'm going to change the text decoration to underline, okay? So all this is going to be doing is something's going to happen or change when somebody hovers over it, right? So if we save that and kind of jump back into our page and we hover over it, you see that it changes to a darker color and we get an underline under our links, okay? Now, this is however you want to kind of, do this moving forward. The color, the decoration is totally cool for it, but make it what you want it to look like. Okay, so text decoration none is a nice way to just make it a little cleaner and then add the underline for the effect.